It's Kevin O backstage at Boots with the Tim of Tim and the Glory Boys.
The Tim part of Tim and the Glory Boys.
Thanks for doing this. Admittedly, I did not realize this when I was doing the research to get ready for this chat.
Yeah.
You're also one of another band that I really enjoy, that being Starfield.
Wow, yes. Yeah, I've lived a few lifetimes of music careers.
Yeah.
And Starfield was the first.
Yeah, and for those who aren't familiar, Starfield was we call it a Christian rock worship.
Yeah, CCM kind of church band.
Was there a lot of pressure being in a Christian rock band? Like, did you always feel like you had to be on your best behavior?
Yes. Yes, lots of pressure, lots of judgment, yes. Lots of feeling not good enough. I mean, I loved it too. I have no regrets being in it. I still have a faith. It was shaky at times, and partly because I was in a band and had to be a professional Christian. But transitioning into country music has felt like I've finally kind of found my home.
So let's talk about
that. In a lot of ways, they're from the same roots.
Right. So Starfield becomes Tim and the Hallelujah Glory Boys.
Yeah, well done, yes.
And then Tim and the Glory Boys, which is much better on a marquee, by the way.
Yeah, it was actually originally Tim Neufeld and the Hallelujah Glory Boys, 11 syllables.
Right.
We just thought maybe it'd be a little easier.
And how did that transition to country start? Did you just one day say, you know what, I think we need to go in a bit of a different direction?
No, I mean, the different direction was post-Starfield. There was sort of a Tim and the Glory Boys 1.0, which was us kind of half gospel, half bluegrass. Mm-hmm. And then the move to country actually came after we had some friends in country music that kind of have their foot in both worlds as well, like a High Valley. Brad Rempel from High Valley. Paul Brandt is another one that is involved kind of in the church world, and he's always sort of had a foot in that world. And they would talk to us at award shows or wherever we would kind of meet up and say, like, you guys are so close to country music. Why don't you consider writing some songs in the genre? There's a whole network of radio stations. There's festivals like Boots and Hearts that are there, and there's a really good scene. And we were just like, no, we're purists, man. We don't want to do that, until they showed us like how much they made in a couple of nights, and we were like, country road, take me. I'm just kidding.
Well, I wonder,
it wasn't really about the money.
When you did decide to make the decision as a Christian guy, and I'm a Christian guy, was there a bit of guilt, like? You know what I mean? Like, you're kind of moving away from that now.
You know what? I don't think for me personally there's any guilt involved. I am careful though as to what we say.
Sure.
Like we really try not to sing about alcohol and sort of a lifestyle that we didn't grow up in. So I don't think it would be authentic for me to do it. But like I can write songs all day long about, the relationship I have with my wife and like the good times I have with the Glory Boys. Like we're pretty liberal when it comes to being Christians in the mainstream.
Sure.
But the main things are still the main things.
And I was going to say, there's still elements of it in your music.
Totally. Right? Yeah, it's not like it's all gone. And that's what I mean by they're kind of from the same place. Like the southern, eastern United States, bluegrass, gospel, blues, country, they all sort of came from the same area.
You're a happy band.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to find a sad song.
Yeah,
like Tim and the Glory Boys.
It is, yeah.
And I'm wondering, is that because you're more inspired by happiness, or do you sort of shy away and go, you know what, we're just not into the sad songs. We want to go the other way. Because country often is associated with the sad song, right?
Yeah, totally. Man, that's a great question. I think we it's sort of intentional. Mostly Christian music can be a pretty serious genre, and you really have to sing about extremely serious things all the time, even if it's in a lighthearted way.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a huge kick, and it's been therapy. I've got a kick out of just being able to write songs about nothing. After 15 years of writing songs about heaven and the afterlife and just all the things.
You are pigeonholed a little bit with the Christian rock.
Yeah. So writing a song about floating, that's perfect.
So let's get to that song. You wrote the song Float, which was like a summer anthem last year.
Yes.
It evolved into Skate.
Oh, right, yes.
Whose idea was that? Was that ever planned to be like another radio single?
No, I mean, it was, for us, it was it started to get weird singing Float on our shows once we hit, like August was fine, September, October still okay. November, December, when it's miserable outside, we're still doing shows.
By the way, in North Bay, Ontario, in January, the song didn't sound as good either.
Yeah, exactly.
Great song, but it's just a different vibe.
So much of Canada, and so as a joke, I think on the bus one night after one of the shows, it was like, this isn't working. We need to adjust the set list. We were like, well, maybe we could just adjust the song. And we kind of came up with a chorus. We played it that night. I think it was in Ottawa, actually. And the crowd loved it. So we're like, all right, let's write a verse. So the next night we had a verse for it. And eventually the whole song was written. And then we brought it to Sony thinking, they're never going to want to do this and re-record it and re-release it, but let's just try. And then they were like, hold on. So we don't have to spend any more money, but we make more money? 2 for 1? We're in.
Our audience loved it. We played
Awesome.
it. We
I
played
love
it one day, not knowing.
I'm so proud of it.
As a fun, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the phones lit up. People went, I love that song. And I'm driving my kids to hockey practice and blah, blah. And so it certainly worked for us.
I love that.
Might I recommend, as we get closer to fall, a song called Rake.
Yes, I like that. Yes, that would be a good motivating song.
Right?
Yeah.
You can give me a songwriting credit on that.
Raking. Thank you for that suggestion.
Let me throw a few random questions at you.
Yeah.
What's more nerve-wracking, playing the main stage or even the side stage at Boots and Hearts, playing Boots and Hearts, or throwing out the first pitch at a Blue Jays game?
You know what?
Because you did that.
I did do that, and that was surprisingly. I had no nerves doing that.
Really?
I didn't think about it. I didn't warm up. I didn't practice. All I did was I have a pretty good throwing arm, and I think it has to do with a lot of snowball throwing.
Okay.
I grew up in Manitoba. Okay. And so that was a big part of my childhood, is taking off people with baseball-sized chunks of snow. But I went up and threw a bit of a heater.
Yeah. Nice.
Not gonna lie, I was pretty impressed with myself.
You still biting your nails?
Yes.
How do you get past that bad habit?
Well, I don't know if I do. I mean, I have so many bad habits. It's that's the only one that helps me not be as nervous.
That's the only one that was trending on the internet, at least. You're proud Canadians. It's obvious from your songs.
Yes.
Greatest Canadian television show.
Danger Bay.
Oh wow, nice. That's a good one.
Probably.
Yeah,
I probably watched more Danger Bay episodes than any.
That's good. Greatest.
That's a bit of a flashback for all you millennials.
Yes, it's a retro
and beyond.
Greatest Canadian actor or actress.
I just saw Barbie, and I was really impressed with Ryan Reynolds.
My wife would agree.
Sorry, not Ryan Reynolds. The other Ryan. Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Big
good.
fan.
Greatest Canadian band or musician.
I grew up loving Our Lady Peace.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're a big influence on Starfield, and I suppose still I find myself trying to be like Rain when I'm singing. It's just the tics that I have from being inspired in the '90s.
Greatest Canadian sports team.
Oh, I'm in the Oilers. I spent a good chunk of my childhood in Edmonton while they were winning cups.
I was going to say, you remember the Wayne days.
I do remember the Wayne days.
Tail end of the Wayne days.
Yeah, the Messier days, just all of it.
Be careful how you answer this one. Greatest Canadian city.
Quebec City.
Quebec City. Why Quebec City?
Oh, I just love it.
Yeah, old Quebec. Especially.
Oh yeah, old Quebec. I just love the vibe. We just did we were there 2 weeks ago at a big old festival. They love us too, so you know how that is.
Yeah,
it's
of course.
Kind of a give and take, but yeah, I love going to Quebec.
Take Me Back Road, huge hit again that you teamed up with High Valley.
Brad Rample, yeah.
You said it's a celebration of returning to your happy place.
Yeah.
Where specifically is your happy place?
I can tell you exactly where it is. It's at the end of a gravel road where I live. During COVID, we bought some property out in the hills, the Fraser Valley. I live in Chilliwack. British Columbia, but there's a place called Ryder Lake, which we have 15 acres in the mountains. It's unbelievable, and we managed to through COVID renovate a house, and we now live there. It's been 2 years. It took a little while. I was pretty city. I grew up in the city, and learning how to fix a John Deere tractor that breaks down. I own a John Deere. I feel like I came into the country pedigree sort of by accident at the same time as we signed a record deal, but. This summer and every summer, we have a golden retriever. She's 3 years old. Her name's Juno. And all she wants to do is fetch a little ball that's on the end of a string in our pool.
Yeah.
And I'll go out at any time of day and I'll spend an hour with her until she's absolutely
heaven
exhausted.
on earth, right?
Sipping like a Corona with some country music on the background. It is absolute zen. I love it.
What's coming up for Tim and the Glory Boys?
We have we're finishing the Hometown Hoedown tour, which has been going on off and on. It was the tour that we were doing throughout COVID, so it was there's been a
It's been
dates
happening
booked
for 7 years.
postponed. Yeah, kinda. And then a year later we do them. So we have 2 weeks left. We're in Eastern Canada, Newfoundland, almost all the way to the East Coast, but well, to the coast, but not the Newfoundland part. And then a few in Quebec and Ontario, and then we're done for that. And then I don't know. It's been a busy fall. We might take Christmas off. We might do some more shows. We're
Awesome.
We're pretty excited to just keep whatever the momentum is and get more songs released and work on the new album.
Awesome. Well, I love the feel good music. We need more of that.
Thank you.
And it sounds awesome on the radio. And thanks so much for doing this, Tim.
Yeah, Kevin, thanks for having me.
Tim from Tim and the Glory Boys. And go check out Starfield too.
Yeah, do it.